The Lord instructed Moses to speak to the Israelites at Mount Sinai and instruct them to observe a Sabbath for 6 years before entering the land. In the 7th year, the land should have a year of rest, and whatever the land yields during this time will be food for the Israelites, their servants, hired workers, temporary residents, livestock, and wild animals. In the year of Jubilee, the Israelites are to return to their family property and clan, not taking advantage of each other. They must buy from their own people based on the number of years since the Jubilee, and from them based on the number of years left for harvesting crops. If they do not acquire the means to repay, what was sold will remain in the possession of the buyer until the year of Jubilee. The land must not be sold permanently, as it is mine, and the Israelites reside in his land as foreigners and strangers. Throughout the land that the Israelites hold, they must provide for the redemption of the land. If one of the Israelites becomes poor and sells some of their property, their nearest relative is to come and redeem it. If there is no one to redeem it for them, they must determine the value for the years since they sold it and refund the balance to the one to whom they sold it. If they do not acquire the means to repay, what was sold will remain in the possession of the buyer until the year of Jubilee. The Levites have the right to redeem their houses in the Levitical towns, which they possess. The property of the Levites is redeemable, but the pasture land belonging to their towns must not be sold. If any of the Israelites become poor and are unable to support themselves among you, help them as a foreigner and stranger, fearing your God and not taking interest or profit from them. If any of the Israelites become poor and sell themselves to you, they are to be treated as hired workers or temporary residents among you until the year of Jubilee. Then they and their children are to be released, and they will go back to their own clans and the property of their ancestors. If a foreigner residing among you becomes rich, and any of your fellow Israelites become poor and sell themselves to the foreigner or to a member of the foreigner's clan, they retain the right of inheritance.